President Trump win his presidency. I'm not going to talk about, I want to make this clear right at the outset, the Russian conspiracy. What I'm interested in is the consciousness of the president. I'm not for him, nor I am against him. But I'm interested in his consciousness. I have studied this a little bit. I once watched a long time ago when President Trump was a young man trying to build his business. I remember, I think it's a Tom Brokaw interview, where the young man, Trump, was talking about government and how government is wasting money. And Tom Brokaw, I think it's Tom Brokaw, asked, why don't you become a president yourself and fix this problem? He said, I'm not interested in that, but I want somebody else to do that job. But when he said that, I knew that there was deep down in his subconscious, unconscious mind, the desire to rule the country, and become a president. This is a very important concept. One becomes a beggar by choice. One becomes a president by choice. When did you make this choice, or anybody makes this choice? Mostly before you came into this earth plane in another lifetime. And once you are born here, then there are a lot of constraints. If you were born, for instance, with a silver spoon in your mouth, that's a different scenario. You know, it's all for your advantage, and you can lead life relatively peacefully and successfully. But if you are born in a slum, that's another matter. That is, life becomes a struggle. However, that doesn't mean that you'll never become a president. You will still become a president. Like Obama is a great example of being born in a minority community, and with a rough childhood and all kinds of restrictions. But then what he called is the audacity of hope. That's a book that he wrote, that he wanted to very much become the president of the United States. Now, the point that I want to make in this little presentation is there is karma. Karma is your orientation, the orientation you have, whether to be a beggar or a president or in between. That's the orientation. And that orientation is what I call as karma. And you can break it. And I'm here doing this video from Tiruvannamalai. And this is a place where you can break this orientation. It's not by choice that, at least conscious choice, that I am here. This is the longest time that I have stayed in Tiruvannamalai in recent times, or at least in this lifetime, 7 days. And there is a reason why I have been drawn here, and then I ended up buying a property here, so, with an intention I can look at the mountain and do things for the world. So what do I want to think for the world? To break the karma of people, especially the money karma of people, the health karma of people, the relationship karma of people. All kinds of karma can be diffused at this place. And that is the reason why I decided to have this, my birthday trip, to be in India, and also Tiruvannamalai is also a place where you are going to stay for a few days. And it is very important for me, especially for people who are born with a lot of constraints, money constraints, etc., to deal with that situation, to the issue. So this is a place where you can change your karma. And Donald Trump came with a great karma to become the President of the United States. Remember that he spent half the amount that Hillary spent, and still became the president, because it was meant to be. And he was also very intelligent enough to do a campaign in the right way. So the important thing is your consciousness. Whether you have to look into your consciousness. Initially, I gave a different title for the theme for the birthday trip, conscious living, and now I changed it to karma. The content is going to be the same, because conscious living is now, for instance, it is say Sanhora, which is a 1 hour period that I will live a certain karma. And it is important for you to know that, because karma is time too. Life itself is time, management of time. So you have to become conscious of every hour, and that will be an opportunity for you to be in India with me. And I'm going to spend most of my time in India, except during the hottest months. And even then, I have plans to see if I can change the weather through another technology. So it's going to be an exciting period in my personal life. That's why I invite you to come to India if you can. Otherwise, there will be some way I would be able to communicate with you, which I do regardless. And also, the Mystery School is another program. I've done the 1 year program many times, but this time the program is the most important, and the 1 year period of transformation. So I also want to invite you for that program too. That's all I want to say. I think I spoke more than what I should have, but God bless.